We have a team number 8. Just a reminder, each team will have 5 minutes to present, followed by 3 minutes of a Q&A for our judges. Let's get started. Please help me welcome the team Philanthrify to come to the stage.
Thank you. Well, I hope everyone had a lovely break there. We are Philanthrify. My name is Thomas Rees. I am the CEO.
My name is Aaron Clark. I'm the CTO.
And we are building a donation marketplace. A donation marketplace specifically to prove the impact for donors in the charity industry and provide B2B SaaS solutions for charities. We are very proud to announce that we are one of the very few blockchain projects which is supported by the UK government, with a $500,000 grant. So what are the big problems in the charity industry? Well, a lot like a lot of other sectors, trust is a huge problem. Trust has fallen from 75% in 2014 to record lows of 48%. It didn't do the animation there. But one of the reasons why is scandals and people not feeling like they're connected to where their money's going. A lot of this is causing fewer donors. So there's 4.9 million fewer donors in the UK alone, and this has led to more costs for the charities to raise as well. Luckily, there's a solution. Goodbox found in 2017 that showing transparency of donations leads to a 50% increase in the amount given. This is also something that we've seen in our proof of concept, and now I'm going to hand over to Aaron to talk a little bit on our solution.
Thank you, Tom. So what is the general overview of our solution? Charities can build a profile on our product, and they can confirm transactions. We have a governance system, which doesn't exist anywhere in the charity industry, at least something like this, where they can confirm and they can validate the accuracy of the data. And what this does is for the donors, this gives them a personalized impact report for exactly how their money's being spent. So, what's the life cycle of our product? Well, as we stated, charities can build a profile on our platform, and this allows them to fund projects and to confirm transactions. Immediately after that, using our governance system, they can verify the accuracy of these transactions, and we're currently working on re-verifying that accuracy with APIs to common services. And what this does is it means that the data that gets passed through the blockchain is validated and made sure that it's accurate. This is super important because transparency and the immutability of blockchain is really what's going to rebuild trust in charities. So how does our solution work for a typical use case? Well, a donor, they want to donate to a charity. They simply click donate now, the money goes through, and the charity using our governance system is able to record those transactions, is able to record exactly how that money is used. This is then transcribed onto the blockchain, and the donors can verify exactly how that money is being spent down to individual transactions. So why blockchain? So you can see that's our solution working up in the top left. We believe that we are the perfect use case for this technology. Why? Immutability of records. That there's a public ledger for anyone to be able to verify exactly what's going on. It's decentralized. We have 24/7 real-time tracking, and on top of that, it gives donors the ability to take ownership back over their donations. So what's next for us? Well, as previously said, we're going to be integrating API connections to common services, such as Jira, such as Xero. We're going to have automatic receipt generation, DAOs, utility tokens, which gives voting rights back to users, and we're going to be using on-chain payments. All of this with blockchain running seamlessly in the background.
And I'm just going to really quickly apologize with the slides slightly because the animations aren't coming up, but I'll just do my best to describe what should be on the screen. So for our target market, we're looking at charities between 100K to 5 million annual revenue. We believe that's the perfect point because they're growing, but they are not having dedicated teams to sort out these problems themselves. There's 37,000 of these in the UK alone, and the US is 10 times that. The business model, this is one of the slides where the animations should show, is B2B SaaS with subscription. So we have a number of subscription fees with a freemium model so that they can get used to it, they understand how to use it, they see the impact, and then they want to come in. The other stream is donation fees. So we'll be taking a small donation fee, and the smallest out of all the marketplaces out there for donating on the platform. The go-to-market, another slide where animation should be, but is network connections. So we are very well connected in the industry. I've spent most of my life in the industry, and we have some amazing connections already. We have Nick Morn Foundation, a billionaire foundation who knows hundreds of charities. We're also partnered with 30+ charities already, and we're growing quite strong. We also plan to have a one-click social media sharing where normal donors can actually share on all of their socials the impact that they've had, hoping to bring in the masses. Revenue forecast by year 3, we expect 8.5 million in revenue, which would give 50 million valuation. And it's an exciting market. The Giving Block was bought for $300 million in 2022 by Shift4, showing a lot of room. Our impact, I'll rush through this quickly because our time is running short, but we see efficiency in the charity sector, broadened audience for the charities doing the best causes, which they don't have today because they don't have millions in marketing budgets, and a transparency rating. This is something that doesn't exist today. For the society as a whole, we believe we have a huge impact. We bring trust back. We've democratized philanthropy so everyone feels like they have a say in where their money's going, and we start to reinvest our profits in the charities we support.
Yeah, we've built a fantastic team around us with experience across charity, blockchain, AI, and a real focus on user experience. We're taking people from top Web2 companies and bringing them over to Web3.
And I want to thank you all. That QR code is for the website. We are also raising a seed round, but I want to leave you with this. Ask clarity from charity. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
How do you make sure that charities record the transactions that they're doing on-chain? So if they spend and they use that money, how do you make sure that they're actually recording it on-chain?
It's a great question, thank you. So we have the two methods there. The first one is the governance system that Aaron was kind of describing earlier. What this does is it's not just anyone can put whatever they want on there. Validity of data is very important because obviously any data going on blockchain can still be wrong. So with this governance system, we see the first person who's on the ground. Let's say you're in an IT center, you're buying computers so that you can then train people. These people can put this transaction, they can put the proof on the chain, not on the chain, sorry, at that point. They put it on our governance system. Higher-ups in the charity will then check that this has happened. They will then start to approve it. And that's the first system, because unless the whole system is corrupt, someone along that line will realize that that transaction was not real and that proof wasn't real. The second point was something Aaron was mentioning as well, was connecting APIs so that we can connect with Jira, we can connect with QuickBooks Zero, actually showing the proof that the transaction has happened in the financial world. And then once we've verified that data, we push it onto the chain. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, thank you. Thank you for the presentation. Are you already incorporated? And if so, who is on the cap table? If not, who do you plan to have on the cap table and why?
So we are incorporated. We're incorporated in the UK. One of the main reasons is because we are backed by the UK government with that grant. The cap table is very small right now because we've had a huge bootstrap, and then the grant led us to only raise from 4 or 5 investors, quite small investors as well. We're looking for anyone from angel investors up to VCs, because we also would like to grow quite massively in the near future as we start to launch bigger. And we also want to learn from the experience of more experienced investors as well, because we realize that we are still quite new in the growing startup space.
Thank you, but I would be interested who of the team is in the cap table?
So the team, as in you mean as in developers and so on?
No, as in who is motivated enough and incentivized in a way that they are going to stay with the project long term. Normally that's done as with equity participation. So I'm just interested in, you don't need to tell me the numbers, but just who is in there.
Yeah, no, that's fine. So with the bootstrapping stage, we invested our own money to keep the company going, and we've actually reclawed some of that back with the grant coming out. But we also have a few individuals who are advisors as well, who are very much invested in the project too, and close connections with us too.
But let's say the two of you own 90% of the company or 80%, something like that.
So we are 3 co-founders. We own about 90% between all 3 of us at the moment, yes.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys. We're behind the tent. Thank you. Great presentation. Please help me to welcome the next project, guys from PhronAI.
We got on stage and BTC hit an all-time high. Just saying. All right. We are Phron. We are a layer suite blockchain that is actually blending AI-driven consensus technology with an open accessibility to AI Web3 products. And what does that mean? We've built a full blockchain suite that includes OpenPhron, that is an aggregator of all things AI, that allows us to pull everything from the web. And from what we've heard today, a lot of people are having problems with finding solutions, finding tools, and everybody's trying to get good things out there. What we're doing is we're helping aggregate all of it into one place, and then allowing them to deploy them on any chain, any ecosystem, by making this completely agnostic. So this is essentially a place for AI libraries, for agents, and for anything else that helps you build with AI. So you can essentially think of one place where we're pulling everything from every other marketplace that doesn't have a sufficient library or doesn't have a sufficient tooling in one place. Now you don't have to search for it, you come to one place and deploy it. Our Phron 0 is an infrastructure as a service, meaning that you can deploy your own layer 1 simply by selecting parameters, making it a private or a public chain, and then deploying the AI models or AI tooling on your chain. Or you can take it to any other network. So we would ideally want him to do it on our chain, but we're making this accessible to everybody else. We want to have a full access to it. Our layer 1 is a proof of concept of a dynamic consensus that we have deployed and shown that there could be a dynamic blockchain that has an adaptive environment and actually adaptive to the needs of the chain. Trigger happy on the finger. So what are we solving? Complex blockchain development. Problems of cost, time, and a lot of different elements of maintaining a blockchain. Scattered AI resources. They're all over the place. Some have 3 models, some have other tools and anything else. We're bringing this all into one place, allowing this to be most efficient and scalable for long term. AI integration limitations. We found that a lot of projects are looking to build with AI in mind. They're struggling with actually integrating or finding a way to bring on new solutions from AI into the Web3. So essentially I went through it because I was told there's not enough time and I can blab forever. Phron 0, our blockchain infrastructure as a service. So we're offering masterclass applications, layer 1 chain mentor, adaptive AI staking, and node block sharing, which essentially makes this very feasible, easy to deploy, and very inexpensive to maintain. OpenPhron is everything AI for blockchain. Like I said, we're aggregating all into one place. Libraries, we're pulling them from all the major resources, and most important, we're offering those single developers that are doing something at home, that don't have the resources, don't have the backing behind them, to monetize on tools and other things that they're working on. They can deploy it in our marketplace and collaborate with other developers. They can collaborate with other builders and build on whatever they're building or add to something that somebody else has done and also monetize on it by allowing other people to use it as well and bring it on to Web3. And we're, of course, monetizing that by either a subscription or pay-per-use basis. This is a design of our infrastructure, of our consensus. We've actually built a first dynamic consensus by embedding AI into it. Those that are super technical can ask questions on it, but not to bore you, we essentially created the first dynamic consensus by implementing convolutional neural network into the nodes and making each node a standalone CNN. So the narrative is AI aggregator, dev tools allowing for developers to build and implement innovation and more things driven by actual AI. Our pain point is that when we're talking to a lot of VCs and other projects, they're all saying they're AI, and they have a lot of ChatGPT or other plugins that are not actually AI solutions. We want, and we encourage innovation. We want people to have access to it, and we're deploying that through our dev toolkit. Infrastructure as a service is allowing us to bring Web 2 into Web 3 and having people deploy that as fast as they can. I'm out of time. Sorry. These are our parameters. We officially had 60K TPS. Not that it really matters these days. This is where we stand and how we're different from everybody else. We're the first layer 1, layer 0 solution with AI consensus. We're EVM compatible, and we're really inexpensive, really fast. This is our ecosystem, our wonderful partners. And I think it was 60 companies that are in DMCC Crypto Center. I think we're going to be 61. We're applying for to come and join you guys as a team.
600.
What?
600.
601 for us then. All right, so we are essentially staying on our roadmap. Our marketplace is deploying end of this month, and our layer 1 minter is coming out of Q1 of 2025. Right now, our layer 1 is a proof of concept already works. The dynamic consensus is already working, and we have proof of concept that it's actually functioning. Projects are actually deploying. We have over 50 partners that are committed to deploy in the next year on our layer 1 and in our marketplace. This is our team and advisory board, some familiar faces. We are currently in a raise seed round. We're a $7 million round with $5 million completed and $2 million, actually 1.7 is still remaining through a SEFT. And this is where we're going to spend our resources in a really cliff note. Done.
Thank you, guys. Some questions from the judges?
Yeah, it's very good to see you say that a lot of projects are using AI as a concept, but not doing so much linked with AI. So I have a question that you mentioned about the marketplace. And what's the logic that you say there will be a lot of AI models and people use tokens to trade the models, or they use the tokens for what?
No, for the part of the marketplace, basically what it does is that it recollects AI models in the format of smart contracts, so it can be redistributed directly to the apps and integrated easily through permissions instead of getting access to APIs that could be vulnerable at some point. And that way it's distributed directly through the subscription model or pay-to-use model.
So you mean we all know that using the AI to generate content will cost the tokens, right? So you mean the cost of these LLMs will be paid by cryptos?
It's everything in crypto, yes, correct. Decentralized way, yes.
Yes.
We will have other payment solution, but on the back end for concept of our tokenomics, it will convert for the token. Because we want to introduce enterprises, and we don't foresee the near future enterprises actually paying in tokens, because there's a lot of AI LLM models that are designed for enterprises, and there's a high desire for that. We want to design in the back end for tokenomics sake that it is converting on the back end, but to giving enterprises ability to pay in fiat.
But let me try to understand. But the tokens goes high and down, right? But you have a fixed cost when you generate content using AI. How can you balance that? If your token goes very high, and
the payment is fully on stables on this marketplace. It's one of the revenue models provided in the company through it. Yes.
Yeah, got it. Thanks.
I have a question on go-to-market. The main purpose of any chain is to attract more users and developers. What's your go-to-market strategy on that?
On our layer 1 was a proof of concept, and we want to encourage people that are building with AI in mind to actually have a place to deploy that, those projects. We have projects like lending and borrowing that is embedding AI into it, into Oracle integration. But ideally, our Phron0, our L1 Minter, that is designed for enterprises or for companies that are looking to deploy or bring their Web2 companies onto Web3, making this an easy entry point and without carrying an overhead cost. So we're in discussions with schools that are looking to deploy certain softwares, and they want to create enclosed environment for schools. And this is an inexpensive way for them to create an enclosed environment in schools and deploy other softwares while protecting the kids and employees from outside intrusions. Also, this is a really good example for hospitals and medical clinics that are looking to bring their data on chain, having it centralized, and then also comply with HIPAA compliance and other factors. And at the same time, having a low entry point for that. We're seeing that a lot of the Web2 companies that are looking to come to Web3 or to come on to blockchain, the entry point is a biggest hurdle. There are those big giants that can afford that. They can afford 6 months of development, can afford the cost to enter. But at the end of the day, we want to grab everybody and give it an opportunity. So think of, think of like GoDaddy, what they did for designing the website. You're able to come to one place, buy a domain, get a website designed, and get it deployed within, like 15 minutes? Same concepts here.
Got it. Thank you.
Yeah, I have one more question that I'm quite interested into this project. So I used to be the angel investor for a lot of AI projects, but I want to understand why crypto? Without crypto, you can still build gather multiple AI models together, and you can still build a marketplace based on the fiats, right? Why crypto? Why crypto is so special? In this, it's another method of raising funds, or the crypto itself can be deeply combined with the AI products that you provide?
The main part on this is the part of data transparency, which right now, for example, models can take out data outside of the current explorers, for example, and manage it directly, but you don't know if that data was tampered at some point. The whole point of this is that you can actually use the data inside the current records and mempools inside the blockchain itself. So at that point, you will receive accurate data with accurate results provided by these AI models applied to it. So that's the main usage that we found at that time, and we're applying it right now for others to be able to use it as well for their different records. Some use cases, for example, law firms trying to bring all their documentation towards blockchain systems. So they can apply, for example, LLM models towards this documentation to get different summaries and results regarding different cases, for example, and everything is untampered and without any discrepancies in terms of what they're doing.
Okay, thanks.
Just a quick note. We started this 3.5 years ago, so we're not riding the wave. We're actually perfect timing, perfect place, as they call it. So this project has been in development way before the AI craze started.
Thank you so much. Thank you, guys. Great presentation. Next, we have Poppin. Please, a round of applause.
Hello, everyone. I'm Lev. Today I'll be introducing Poppin. Well, we're building a social app, and our goal is to bring social interaction to every corner of the web. Well, when you look at this, what you see is a blank page, right? It's a blank and quiet tab. Well, it looks like it, but this is where our online interactions begins. This is a gateway to our online interaction. Well, the question is, do our browser have to stay this quiet? Well, assuming that you're looking at a Solana chart on a popular trading site, well, there are probably thousands of people looking at the same chart as you, but yet there's no way to share any ideas, communicate with any other users on the same web page, and that's where Poppin comes in. Well, Poppin is a browser extension that connects everyone on the same web page. Well, you can just drop comments on any kind of web page, you can have real-time chat with any user on any web page, and you can even host or join voice spaces directly on web pages. Well, the best part is you do not need to do any kind of prior integration for that. Let's take a further look at the features. Well, this is the comment function. With comment function, you can basically drop your comments or reviews to any kind of web page. Well, you can also follow each other. You can also give replies or upvotes. Whether it's a DeFi platform or whether it's an e-commerce site, you can just share your review wherever you are. And this is the chat function. Well, you can instantly have like real-time chat with anyone on the same web page. Well, I don't know if you watched the latest fight between Mike Tyson or Jake Paul. It was on Netflix, but if you did, there was no chat function there. So, for example, you would have no option to chat with other viewers of the fight. But with Poppin, it's possible to have a talk, have like real-time chat with people who view the same content. Well, we have voice spaces. You basically can host or join voice spaces directly on web pages. This can also be token gated as well. For example, when you're browsing, you can simply join or host voice stream with your favorite NFT or meme coin collection. Well, what about the business model? Our business model have three main revenue sources. Well, we got ads for free users, we got premium subscription model, and we got creator fees for content monetization. And what about the market? Well, there are more than 50 million social power users on browsers, and with industry average metrics, even with the small penetration rate of 1% to that 50 million social power users, we generate more than $16 million in revenue yearly. And what about the go-to-market strategy and the roadmap? Well, first we'll be targeting Web3 audience because Web3 audience are already familiar with the product group, which is browser extensions, and they are super engaged online. And going further, we'll be targeting some specific target groups who are naturally inclined to use Poppin's social features. For example, there are lots of online forum enthusiasts, or there are like lots of browser game players. We know that there are a lot of power users there, and this is the second stage. And going to the third stage, the last stage, we'll be targeting mainstream platforms that lack built-in social features. For example, Netflix, for example, Spotify or Shopify. We'll be targeting those platforms to be their go-to app for social interaction. Well, our team consists of people who have led projects at major companies such as SAP, Google, and a 500 global backed startup. We're also been very active in Web3 ecosystem for years, so we have a good understanding of the culture. Thanks for listening to me. I'm looking forward for your questions.
Maybe I start with the question. I quit social media news recently. Who won that fight?
Well, it's a controversial issue. I think it's staged. Jake Paul won it, but I think it's staged.
Okay, thank you. I'm not sure if I fully understand. The solution you're providing, you can kind of put it on top of any, we're always referring to web page when you were saying.
Yeah.
How does it work? I mean, what's the basis of the user ID, the account? You know, how does the software know who is on the website as well, all of that?
Yeah, works on a URL basis. For example, if you're on a specific URL, you can talk to anyone who's on that specific URL and with Poppin, through Poppin.
So I need a Poppin account then?
Yeah, obviously.
Okay, all right.
You need the app, by the way. You need the browser extension downloaded, and you got a widget with a small logo on the right-hand side of the web page. If you click it, you will see how many people are online on that web page using Poppin, with Poppin downloaded, and yeah, that's it.
So it's a browser plugin in most cases? Or how is it done?
Well, not like a plugin. Well, we got like multiple options to view it. You can just open the browser extension like MetaMask or Phantom. You can have the sidebar view. Is popular in Backpack wallet. I don't know if you saw it. Also, Phantom brings it. So you click it and it's docked in the sidebar. Or you can also have the widget view. You have the small, that cute logo there on the right-hand side. If you click on the logo, it will just show the chat or the comments or the active voice stream going on the web page.
Okay, got it. If you then, at a later stage, are going to onboard the big players that you mentioned, how are they going to participate in the revenue stream or just commercially?
What do you mean by the big
Well,
players?
if I were Netflix, I would want some of that cake that you are generating. How do you expect that
Well,
to happen?
our business model is not B2B, by the way. We work B2C. And for example, for now, as we are studying with Web3, we had like initial talks with some prominent platforms like Magic Eden or Birdeye. We do not ask any kind of integration from their side, so that's a benefit for them. And we do not charge them any kind of fees, so it's beneficial for us to have them used on their platform because it also increases their user engagement for free, basically.
Well, but that they don't participate in that. Or to put it differently, can they prevent from your app to be involved?
Well, technically it's possible, but practically it's not because they will have to ban Poppin app every single day. Because if they ban it, then we would just make a small twitch and then it's free for every web page again.
So it's a bottom-up approach. As soon as you have a big community,
Yeah.
you just kind of can't make the way around your community and you want to be part of that, as a Netflix, for example?
Yeah, obviously, that's the end goal.
It's a big journey there.
Yeah, by the way, there's an app for that. It only works on Netflix. It also already have like more than, I think, 12 million downloads, and it only works for Netflix. And it only works for chat. We have commands, upvotes, and voice spaces, and other stuff.
Thank you.
Yep. Yes, so I have a hacker thinking, and I'm already thinking how to abuse it. So let's say I will create a lot of Poppin accounts, and someone will put bad comments on the pages of the competitors.
Yes.
So you probably needed censorship. What are you gonna do?
Yes. Well, it's quite easy to do that because we have like best practices. We can just follow what other social platforms do. So it's quite easy, but we choose to do as little as censorship as we do because primarily it's a Web 2.5 company. So we would love to do the least amount of censorship, but it's quite easy to do it. We can just copy the. We can just copy the best practices, for example. We can just.
The Twitter best practices is no censorship.
No, yeah. It's not doing good on that aspect, but yeah, we can just limit typing some words. By the way, it's not possible to like post images. That's not an issue. We can just ban some words and stuff like that. Also for bots, we can just have like few authentication methods. So not an issue because every social app have those issues already. So yeah.
Well, the idea is brilliant, very innovative, but yeah, but not every social app can create a chat on any website. It's something very new.
Yeah, that's the whole idea. Works on URLs.
Do you plan to allow any crypto transactions on the app?
Yeah. Well, this is a simplified presentation, but we also there's also an option to store comments on chain for immutable marks on internet, basically anywhere. Well, it's also possible to tip users. Well, we have token-gated private chats. So, for example, if you hold, let's say, more than 10K amount of bonk, you can just join a specific chat. This also applies for voice spaces. For example, if you hold a specific NFT, you can join a specific voice space. And also, have you heard of Blinks? Blinks protocol. It's a small twitch in the UI, works on Solana. Well, it basically helps you to do some mini on-chain interactions. For example, it's possible for us to like make small like coin flip in the chat. So yeah.
Thank you so much.
No worries.
Thank you. Great presentation. We have our next project coming on the stage. Please welcome Redefined.
Good afternoon, everyone, or good evening. My name is Bandar Al-Tunisi. I am co-founder and CEO of Redefined, the future of exchanges redefined today. One of my co-founders, he was a former chief technology officer of a big crypto hedge fund based out of Berlin. He then moved on to trade his own account in the last bull market, made lots and lots of money, and then was faithfully introduced to FTX, Celsius, and Luna all at the same time. So that lots and lots of money became not so lots of money. And Redefined was born. So Redefined, its core thesis is that we want to onboard the next billion. Web3 crypto is extremely complex, fragmented. We want to go back to the core thesis, the core ethos of crypto and Bitcoin, and which is disintermediated, non-custodial, peer-to-peer financial services. What we want to do is make Web3 simple and convenient for everyone everywhere. So what we've built is a platform which aggregates all of your wallets across all chains, across all dApps, all in one place. We are an access layer that simplifies DeFi. It gives you the power of DeFi with the user experience and simplicity of CeFi. A transaction on-chain should not require a million steps, as you might see here. It should be one click and you execute. Now, a bigger background on myself. I was the former head of Binance in Saudi Arabia. I was also the head of institutions for Binance in Dubai, where I worked with our third co-founder, Al Shahadi, very well known in the industry around the UAE, who is the former general manager of Binance in Dubai. And not only did we invested in this project at its initiation phase and have left to join full-time to bring this to market. Our experience in centralized exchanges, so obviously the market opportunities for DeFi, we all know there's about 110 TVL DeFi today, there's about 35 billion staked on centralized exchanges. So there is the DeFi vertical, but also if you look at the business model of centralized exchanges with the advent of regulations, that's going to shift dramatically. The cost to business of custody is tremendous. And unlike banks, obviously exchanges cannot take any risk with customer deposits, so it's really transaction fees. So we believe not only is there value to be captured in DeFi, but also value to be captured in the transitionary phase of when when centralized exchanges migrate most of their users to DeFi offerings. And I think we've all heard CZ say this and a lot of other leaders say it. So based on that, we've built Redefined. I'll give you some mock-ups of what this might look like. So the product is ready in beta. It's been tested by 50 to 100 users. You can connect your MetaMask, your Ledger, your custody provider, and now you can do account abstraction through Particle Network, which is basically a sign-in with Google option. There's no better onboarding mechanism for the next 1 billion other than a sign-in with Google or sign-in with Apple, right? Once you connect all of your wallets across all these providers, then you have a centralized exchange experience. Aggregated dashboard view across all your chains. You can click through to see what your assets look like across which chains. Transactions are transaction aggregate all of your assets so you can download a CSV as a crypto tax advisory tool. Your swaps and bridges are all one click, abstracting away gas fees, abstracting away which chain you're on. Again, the idea is the next billion will use crypto without knowing how to use crypto or how to use blockchain. It's the same concept as the internet. People use the internet and don't know how it actually works. An invest page, which gives you an aggregated view of all of your assets staked across all dApps, as well as opportunity exploration, which gives you have some TIA laying around, some USDT. One click, you've staked it on one provider. We allow for all kinds of risk allocation when it's risk tranching, so you can stake across Lido and a few other ones, all in one click. Basket of goods. So really, the use case in their products are endless. It's bringing the Web2 experience to Web3, right? People want simplified experiences. People want to do that without the risk of centralization, without the risk of someone else managing your assets, and that's what we've built. We are currently raising our pre-seed round to go to market. An interesting thing that we're doing from a go-to-market perspective is we're focusing on the MENA region. I used to also be the Arabic spokesperson for Binance. So we're going to launch, the platform is ready in Arabic as well as Russian. And so focusing on the market, we know what the market needs are, and target that market specifically as an initial go-to-market strategy, and then therefore moving on to the rest of the world thereafter. So my time is up. I think I've given you a good example here for a few more mock-ups of what it might look like. Thank you.
So you mentioned you can connect wallets from centralized exchanges as well.
Not yet, but yes, that's in the plan. Yes, we can connect through API so they can have the view and eventually the execution part through the centralized exchange wallets as well.
And the investing part is only on-chain, right? So
Correct.
using DeFi.
Correct.
products.
So it's the yield opportunities from DeFi, and then our token will also play an element in the yield opportunities as well.
Thank you.
What is your business model as a platform?
Yeah, so it's fees. So we will negotiate with the different providers. So we aggregate, the 1 inch, the Li-Fi, the Squid, and then we take a fee on top, whether it's staking or swaps, lending, borrowing, take a fee on top of that.
Do you plan to promote some complex trading solutions like the tokenized positions?
Absolutely. So I think perps, all these different ones will be integrated initially. I think we probably, at this stage, have more product than we need to go to market. So it's really about what does the initial go to market need. And we think basically the handful that we've selected in the image are the ones that are necessary. But yes, the beauty of what we're doing is any token that comes up, any new product that comes up, yield opportunity, we aggregate it, right? So like Islamic Sharia compliant, for example, products, have good relationships with some of them around the region, integrate them within a few days or weeks, and we give that value to the user.
Cool. Thank you.
Sorry, I have one question. Thank you for the
Sure.
presentation. Very impressive. Can you say something about your round, the cap, and?
Sure. So our first round was we raised 1.1 million at 20 from angels, and now we're raising 3.4 at 40, and we are about $1 million in. And really, I think given the market conditions, it's more about closing faster than the whole amount. 3.4 takes us about a 2-year runway, so it's really conservative.
Thank you.
Yeah.
We have time for more questions.
What's the team background?
So I'm former Binance Saudi Arabia. I was also former practicing New York qualified lawyer for about 8 years. Alex Shahade is the former general manager of Binance and also former crypto trader for 20 years and set up another exchange in Abu Dhabi. Our third co-founder, AJ, is a former CTO of a crypto hedge fund, as well as a successful founder in another blockchain project. And we have 4 developers also on our team.
I forget to ask, but is that an equity round or?
It's a token round.
Token round.
Yeah. And the model of the token is the closest in one liner would be an exchange type token, that value within the ecosystem.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you. And next project, we have Safe House, DecentraSafe. Welcome.
Okay, this is the point in the afternoon where Dima says, are the judges paying attention? Thank you guys for putting up with this day. We are Safe House Technologies from Taiwan, and this is DecentraSafe.
So here's the problem. 95% of all developers are on popular platforms, centralized platforms like Docker Hub and others. 69% of all developers use containerized solutions. When centralized platforms intentionally or unintentionally remove access, hundreds of millions of dollars are at stake. It obviously creates a single point of failure that we want to avoid at all costs. So when the platforms are proprietary, walled gardens, open source, and this is old, and your business is in danger. Here's the solution. DecentraSafe is an open, on-chain, 100% uptime container registry based on SUI and the Walrus network, Walrus protocol. Basically, right now, a user logs into the D app, then is able to push to a Docker registry service, which pushes the blobs up to Walrus and the metadata to move smart contract. The advantages: speed, control, ease of use, and profitability. So obviously it's based on SUI, so it has the highest TPS. It allows for parallel transactions. It's decentralized, so it's censorship resistant, and it returns control to you. It's easy to use because every developer, no developer changes their workflow. They use the same tooling that they have. They're used to what they are, and anyone can use it. And we're still working on the tokenomics, but we're envisioning maybe 2% of take rate.
So the market opportunity, unfortunately, this is a little bit of an old slide, but I'll walk through it. Docker was founded in 2011, and it now has become basically the standard for container registries. It was actually not profitable until 2020 when they converted all of their free users to a force paid plan. That's when it jumped from 11 million ARR all the way to 165 million, which was last year. We are tackling container registries as an initial product, but obviously we envision someday of going to source code management because that's a $1 billion opportunity. With respect to how we'll make money, our user flow is quite simple. We want them to register on our platform, pay SWI for a utility coin, and use those credits to be able to store Docker images on our platform and then stake the DSafe coins in order to get distributed rewards from the take rate. I want to skip that because we just said that that's work in progress. We are very new. We just finished our MVP, and we're going to spend the bulk of next year, the first half of next year, completing an API to be able to port from other platforms, namely Docker. Once we launch our beta in the summer, we'll spend the remainder of the year working on our container security features. Now, the call to action here is we're looking for 150,000 USDT for feature development, marketing, and user base growth, security audit, and a call to action to the developers to actually help us create a direct Docker to DApps protocol extension, which has not been done before. And once that exists, that'll enable our decentralized platform. But also to the advisors and experts in the room, we would love to flush out our tokenomics model a bit more, and to any of those connected to the SWI team help to address our network shortcomings and our platform growth. I'm Sharon. I'm an experienced entrepreneur in healthcare, FMCG, and deep tech. I did my time in management consulting, and my first startup was actually part of the Microsoft Connect Accelerator powered by Techstars, and I have an MBA from INSEAD.
I'm Reza. I've been building open source stuff for 25 years, including Linux kernel and FFmpeg. I'm also a KubeCon speaker. I also co-founded a wireless mesh networking startup a long time ago. And one of our advisors is actually working at Miston. His name is John. We met hacking EEGs actually in a garage in San Francisco. He's the one who gave us the idea for this project, and he worked at BitGo, like Facebook and Coinbase, that kind of stuff. So open source is actually very dear to me, and everyone in this room is actually here because of open source. Nobody would be here without it, and we need to safeguard it.
And we truly believe that our platform, DecentraSafe, will usher in the new age of Web3 infrastructure for Web2 stacks. Thank you.
Thank you so much for the presentation. I see that you guys are planning to raise 150,000. What would be the evaluation?
So we would actually do it more on like a bridge round safe note. So it would
Yeah.
just be a debt funding.
Okay, understood. And regarding the 150,000, it's supposed to be for user growth, marketing, future developments, and security audit. Isn't that not enough funding for all of those things that you guys have in plan? I'm saying this just because, in marketing, user base growth, it's really expensive sometimes. So I'm just trying to understand.
So I would agree on that, as I've also worked on user-based growth. But I think the main approach that we'll take will be quite organic and sort of more attached to the growth of Walrus as well as the Sui Foundation. So that, to some degree, is more on a partnership level. We're not doing sort of individual dev user growth. The bulk of it will go towards feature development. And we're based in Taiwan. We know some very economical coders. And Reza, the brains behind all of this, has put a lot of his time in. And I think we can get a lot of our Valley friends to
I think we can
help.
build a lot with little money. And as she said, we want to be one of the launch products for Walrus.
Thank you.
Do you plan to support private containers and repositories in the future, or with the restricted access for some limited persons?
Would like to, yes.
How would it be possible with the distributed systems?
I'm still thinking about it. I was thinking maybe some of the layers, like maybe the base layers stay the way they are, and then the extra layers get encrypted locally and then pushed.
Okay, thank you. Makes sense.
We have time for more questions.
Did you receive grant from Sui?
Not yet.
No, we didn't actually ask for any grants so far.
Yeah.
But
to be fair,
I spoke to Costas earlier, and I'm trying to figure out what we can do. Yes.
there's Costas in the crowd. There we go. Oh, okay. Yeah, come on.
How does the competitor landscape look like? So, is there a lot of competition?
No. I mean, there was a mention earlier of Utopia, but it's a lot more complex, and we actually don't want to touch Git for now. I think it's way too complicated. This is like this is basically the fertile ground everyone uses and everything is built on, and it's like a simple problem. It has some layers to it, but it can be attacked in a fairly contained manner.
That's it.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And we have 3 more projects to go. Project from Sendit, please join the stage.
Hi everyone, I am Nabarun. I am representing Sendit. I am an engineer at Sendit. Sendit is an online digital marketplace where you can sell anything and everything. Anything and everything. So what is the problem that currently exists in e-commerce for digital products is lack for consumers commerce platform. What do we mean is that there is no sustainable use case, highly centralized cost, third-party fees exist, misaligned consumer opportunities regarding mostly for merchants and affiliates, and IP vulnerability. There is not much of IP production for content creators. So state of crypto, here's one tweet. One of the best founders I know told me if there was a starting in crypto today, I would build around stables, and it's what the world needs. So what's the solution? We have a non-speculative digital commerce market. So we have digital products and digital services where people can come, sellers or content creators can come on board and put on their projects and or provide the services. Everyone, so we have sellers, affiliates, buyers. Currently this is on place in, we are currently on Solana, and all payments and settlement happen on Solana. So one of the key features you can see in the middle one is affiliates. So here you can see affiliate is selling on Twitter with Blinks protocol that Solana has. So it's basically put buy, sell buttons and price amount on Twitter itself, and any user can buy from it, but affiliate can earn from it as well. And the most important part of this comes to be the review part. So we have a trust system ourselves, so we are avoiding centralized KYCs, but we have a consumer or buyer trust system where people can review the products, and a seller can climb up the hierarchy of a protocol. So we have gamified it for sellers. There are two options for a seller. One, he can stake to rise up the ladder, and the staked amount becomes kind of a collateral for his behavior on chain or on platform. Or he can just perform better, make a more sell, and get higher reviews from the buyers, and rise up the hierarchy. And in the topmost hierarchy, he earns a better platform fees, he earns from a better platform revenue, and lesser amount of delays in payouts. So we have, so the third problem that we are catering to is the piracy protection. So anything that a seller can choose to tokenize on the platform itself can mint an NFT or kind of claim on the product he's selling. And so this is various UX, UI simplification that we have done around, because we have talked a lot of sellers. And Web3 interfaces, mostly UX become complicated for a simple Web2 user. But to onboard Web2 users on the platform, we have got a simplified e-commerce-like interface, where we are currently integrated with Privy login signups, so that kind of abstraction of the wallet is happening on that end until he wants to claim the wallet itself and own the wallet. He can log in with Phantom wallets or other wallet options. So what's the current differentiation we have? We have better fees. We have a seller can start selling from the day one, and we can have tokenized asset for piracy protections. Total addressable market size is currently around 2.5. This is the previous year stats. Currently, it's around 5 trillion. I can share the PDF for the research. So we are currently catering to Web3 segment only, where it's around 250 billion market share. But are the products not being sold currently? They are definitely being sold today, but it's mostly fragmented. A user is selling, for example, you can come up and sell, we are integrating Discord channels, Telegram private groups as well, so people can, who are having private trading groups or anything, can sell on this, and everything gets consolidated here. So we are having a go-to-market strategy. So we have currently onboarded 20 around KOLs who are ready to migrate on our platform. And in future, in next quarter, we are trying to integrate more service industries onto the platform. And definitely, we are going to launch more about AI bots, trading channels, and a lot of Discord users and big. So founder Basil is from USA. He has a lot of background in Shopify store making. I am an engineer. Previously worked in Intel and liquid staking industry in Cosmos ecosystem. They have successfully existed Shopify e-commerce industries. We have combined 16 years of e-commerce experience. We have a gamified experience. And definitely we have a real world utility and definitely a platform fees or market money making platform. So here we have a demo, but let's keep that for the time. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you for sharing. I think it's a very valuable project, but do you consider the regulation issue? Which country you plan to do the first place?
Sorry.
I mean, the regulation in different countries. If you want to do the e-commerce, so which country is your first step?
So our primary target will be where it's acceptable easily, and mostly the emerging markets where crypto acceptance, or for example in South America or Africa, where it's very important to make a where the Web2 payments are very limited, like Stripe accessibility or Web2 payment accessibility are very limited. We're trying to get those sellers or users onboarded.
Okay, thank you.
Sorry, I want to quite understand. Actually, can you shape into one sentence what you do? You know, there are a lot of concepts inside this PowerPoint, so I want to understand clear that what's the position and what's the value proposition for the project.
So mostly the product, we have digital products, let it be ebooks, courses, Discord channels, Telegram channels, anything people can be willing to sell. They can come and put their products on chain, onto our system, and the settlement and payment layer happens on chain. Yeah. So we also have it as a subscription model where people can subscribe to a Telegram channel or private Telegram channel or AI bots, AI agents, and they can get access on a monthly or yearly basis. Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Any more questions? Okay. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Next presentation, please welcome Surfer Monkey on the stage.
Hello. It works. I had to click, I didn't know. Okay. Hi everyone, we are Surfer Monkey. We are about institutional privacy for digital assets. In essence, we are a middleware protocol for any chain and any app. So the problem with Web3 is that everything you do is transparent. So this is like having your card activity transparent to everyone. So you go, you buy a plane ticket, you buy a cafe, I can see it, everyone can see it. You don't want that. That makes you sad, you don't like it. And then you could use a privacy tool, but then you can have maybe the cops looking after you because they have a really bad storyline behind. And it also comes with a high complex integration cost. So if you want to introduce a privacy tool to your system, then you need to wrap tokens, you need to use some smart contract integration. It is complex. And just by looking at the market dynamics, we see that in UK and UAE alone, the stablecoin market payment is around 300 billion, right? So how will that happen if it's all transparent? Well, we believe, and we're making it, we can go from 300 billion to 6 trillion market only with payroll. And now we can, but that won't happen again if it's not private. If my employer can see, how do I spend my money? I don't like that, right? And if you can see how I spend my money, I don't like it either. So we have a solution for that. It's very simple. It's a SaaS license model or per transaction, just a JavaScript SDK. In a nutshell, we can privatize any type of transfer on any blockchain. Oh, I didn't know I have it here. Cool. So, and it's also regulatory compliance, which means that we have a smart contract firewall where we can block sanctioned addresses, and this is scalable to hundreds of millions of addresses. We're the only protocol that can do that. On top of that, the institution and the financial regulators can trace their transactions, right? Which means that I can see what my clients and users are doing, but a competitor cannot spoof and see how my financial books look like. And we're the only privacy protocol that is compliant with MiCA. This is a solution that we have been engaging with more than 2 years with financial regulators, digital labs around the globe. So what we did now for the hackathon is this payroll solution with the HRM system of SAP, where we initiate the transfer there, then they go through the Circle AML wallet, right? And we can privatize all the payments of this payroll of this company. This is also possible to integrate it with custodian solutions such as Fireblocks. And on top of that, right, with just one click, you can export this data and share it with your preferable chain analysis, Jerem Lab systems, or Elliptic, right? So if you need blockchain intelligence firms, one click, you can share that data. It's very simple. So the technical flow implementation, then we have the SAP system that we built on the SAP Business Studio running natively there. From here, we initiate the transfer that they go to the Circle AML wallet, which shows Circle because they have this native AML system. And then we can visualize it on the SurferMonkey regulatory dashboard oversight. So we have been researching for more than 2 years, where we developed the widget, the SDK, and the dashboard. We are the only privacy protocol that allows to fractionalize payments, which is a killer on payrolls, because now it means that with one transfer into the blockchain, we can fractionalize it and then pay hundreds of their employees. This also is not more optimal, but we also put the security system up. In terms of our competitors, we're the only ones that can fractionalize outputs. We make it very simple to integrate, and also we put the compliance away from the users and developers. This is something that we just don't want to have it for the hackathon. We actually want to hit it on mainnet, and now we are also on the audit phase. Fresh code improvements during the hackathon, well, the whole Circle programmable wallets, the smart contract platform from Circle, the USDC payments via the Circle wallet, the whole confidential payroll fractionalization, and the whole SAP integration. So this was our fresh code improvements for the hackathon. Some feedback. We love your dogs, so easy to use. We love your emojis. Team, Alamin for business, and myself for tech. Basically, that's it, and thank you. Perfect pitch.
Hi.
Very good.
I'm curious about the, sorry. Hi.
Hi.
I'm curious about the name. Why SurferMonkey?
We both like surfing, and we met in Bali surfing. So, SurferMonkey.
Okay, thank you.
Welcome.
Maybe it's, maybe it's because it's already late, but can we quickly start with the pain and the gain? What pain are you addressing, and what are you solving, and what's the gain for whoever is using your solution?
Alamin?
Yeah. So the problem with institutional finance, in order to onboard it on-chain and for them to reduce cost when it comes to infrastructure, the transactions need to be private. No institution, major institution, will be onboarded on-chain if everybody can see their transactions. Nike will not want Reebok to see how many Jordans they're selling. This is where privacy comes in, and that's basically our market dynamics.
But there's other workarounds. I mean, the competition that you mentioned is just probably in your very defined...
That was just, sorry to interrupt, that was just a very simple example. The Jordan example that Alamin did was just a very simple example.
No, I mean, there's other ways to get that privacy.
Are you speaking of homomorphic encryption, or what exactly? What are the examples you're
No,
talking?
I'm trying to fully understand
if most privacy
you're addressing and why someone should use your solution. You know, what's the value proposition? Why are you different to other solutions that there may be out?
The cost reduction, most privacy solutions require you to have a federated sidechain, which also comes at a cost. With our solution, it's just a simple plug and play and transaction fee. They don't have to maintain anything on the infrastructure side. So whereas a lot of companies will join together to have a private network, in this case, they don't need to.
Thank you.
I also have a question. I think it's pretty useful for some institutions, some organizations. And I want to know who is your clients, your current clients, including Circle, DMCC, or they are just supporting you?
They're just supporting. We're just in talks with
So
Circle.
you have any clients,
Yes,
the two clients?
The two clients that we have already disclosed are Black Manta Capital and Nyla. They're testing our solution now.
Okay, got it. Thank you.
In total, we have 5 signed up. The other ones are not disclosed, but yeah, it's 5.
So as a privacy layer, that's a no-no for regulators and...
We are not per se a privacy layer. We are a privacy protocol that is different, but in terms of the regulators, this is something that we have been engaging with them, the regulatory digital labs. And the main thing about the privacy solution, and this is something that we also spoke on Capitol Hill with the senators, and simply put with their own words was, when things go bad, they want to be able to point to someone. Basically, that's what they want, right? With our solution, because we have this regulatory window, it means that the institution, at all times, they have oversight of what their users are doing. We have accountability proofs. And if something happens, they know which user did what. On top of that, we also have a regulatory window per jurisdiction, which means that the jurisdiction of UAE can see everything that happens in UAE with their companies in UAE, but not the ones that are happening in UK, for example. So even if an institution wants to act malicious, the regulator still has a master key, and they're able to visualize the whole system. This is not for privacy maxis. This is something for institutional players that you want to have privacy, but still have 100% certainty that you're playing on the rules.
And is your solution institutional only, or can be used by retail as well?
It's institutional only. We're only dealing with institutional clients, and we KYB them.
Right. Thank you.
Thank you for the questions.
Thank you.
Guys.
Thank you.
Thank you. Time for the very last project. Please welcome Traa on the stage.
Marhaba. I hope it was pronounced right. So let me start with some questions. Do you know what the person sitting next to you thinks about cloning humans? Do you know what your best friends are thinking about climate change? Probably not. But now you can with Traa. Traa is the very first, most fun, engaging, and opinion-driven media app that lets you easily, effortlessly express your opinions and discover what your friends and the public thinks. To give you some background, prediction markets like Polymarket are doing a very good job at crowdsourcing information about future events. However, they don't cover the full spectrum of interesting questions that you might find interesting, and some of those questions relate to philosophy, justice, and maybe taste. So we believe that doubling down on subjective and normative questions can be very valuable, and we want to focus on opinions rather than objective facts. So to give you some examples, right? You see some mock-ups here. If you are into crypto and memes, you might be very interested in knowing what's the best dog coin. Is it Doge? Is it Shiba Inu? If you're into anime, you might wonder who's stronger. Is it Goku or is it Saitama? If you're into philosophy and justice, you might want to know, is the death penalty just? And lastly, if you recently watched the Mike Tyson and Jake Paul fight, which we talked earlier with the Poppin presentation, you might want to ask, was the fight staged? Was it rigged? So for really anyone, there are questions that you deeply care about. So the core problem that we have identified is that there is no safe, fun, and easy platform that lets you easily express opinions while discovering the public opinion in an engaging and rewarding way. So here comes Traa. We are a social media app built on Telegram with a very sleek design optimized for users with short attention spans. So we are an app that you can use anywhere, anytime, even in a crowded train. And one of our core concepts is what we call Sparks. Sparks are swipeable questions with two response options. Swipe left for opinion A, swipe right for opinion B, right? And each vote is added to a voting aggregation, which we hide from the public. And if you want to see how your friends have voted, then Traa shows you exactly that. And users can even create their own Sparks. So we encourage also user-generated content. Once Sparks hit certain traction milestones, our protocol automatically creates prediction pools. Prediction pools lets users make public opinion predictions. And this is how it works. Step 1, you use the slider to estimate the public opinion. Step 2, you enter an amount to back your estimate with financial stakes. And third, you confirm the transaction. Later on, we rank all the predictors based on how accurate they are with the predictions relative to the actual outcome, actual voting outcome. This looks a little bit complex, but actually the incentive mechanism and the reward distribution is fairly simple. We take the bottom 50% of all, we take the bottom 50% predictors' stakes and move it to the prize pool, and we distribute it to the top 25% of predictors with the most accurate predictions. The people in the middle, from the 25th to the 50th percentile, they get their initial stakes back. And what about Traa? We take a platform fee of 9%. And the business potential is very huge. So assuming just 50K in monthly active users, each trading on average 5K per month, we generate a monthly revenue of more than 11 million USD. Also, to not forget, we are sitting on a bunch of very, very beautiful data, which we find will be very valuable to AI companies, advertisers, and more, because this data is novel and proprietary and highly focused on sentiments, opinions, attitudes, perceptions, and subjective information. Last but not least, we also have a lucrative revenue stream, which is advertisement. So if you are into if you want to do some advertisement with us, you can do so, and you can imagine that every 10th swipe could be your ad. This is the team. My name is John. Been investing in crypto as well. Have led investments in 25 early-stage projects, and also founded an angel syndicate in South Korea. My co-founder is Vlad. He's a programming prodigy based in South Korea, and Ralph, he's a marketing genius who has managed a Telegram app of 1 million users. This is the last slide. The vision really is to generate lots of interesting sentiments data to empower decision makers across industries for a better informed society. Thank you very much. Shukran.
Time for questions.
I think I was a bit off with the microphone, right?
I have a question. So for your project, how can I secure the accuracy rate? Because it's a prediction project, right? We need to predict the market or some particular information. How can I secure the accuracy rate is, how to ensure the prediction is correct?
Right. So I guess what you're hinting on is the possibility of a Sybil attack and bots being on our platform. We reduce the possibility of bots really biasing the predictions and the voting outcome by integrating with a identity protocol. So there are many out there. We are currently in talks with CK Pass integration, so they have cyber attack resistancy, and you can prove, and the users need to prove during the onboarding that they are actually humans.
Okay, got it. Thank you.
So at the very beginning, you said that actually we don't know the guy or girls sitting next to us, what they are thinking, what their politician, taste, right? So after using this, what things changed? Like we can see people's opinion on Trump, people's opinion on Elon Musk, right? We can check their profile and to see, oh, they like Trump or they like another president, right?
Yeah, I mean, for the friends that you add to your private contact list on Traa, you can. And I think essentially we can turn any kind of like prediction market-like questions into a should question. So if the question, for instance, on Polymarket or on Kalshi is, will Gary Gensler be fired by next week? We can ask something like, should Gary Gensler be fired? Stuff like that. So all the questions, yes. So really the focus really is on subjectivity, normativity, opinions, sentiments, attitudes, and perceptions of the users that we have on our platform. So if you're interested in like comparing your personal opinion with others, with your friends, or to the publics, then I think Traa is your go-to app.
And how can they earn in doing this? Like they complete 100 questions, they will get paid? Or?
Yeah, I mean, the issue is that we want to have as many voters as possible, right, to ensure representativeness of the data. But if we give everyone just a little bit of a few cents, it might not be very high incentive. So rather, what we do is revenue sharing, and we put a certain percentage of our own revenue into a weekly lottery pool. And every swipe gives the voter a pass to this weekly lottery pool. So there will be a few lucky winners, and this is the incentive for the voters beyond comparing their opinions with their friends in the public.
Yeah. How long have you guys been working on this, and how far along are you?
We've now started the MVP, so we are live as an MVP Telegram app. So I can also show it to you later. We have started working on this 1.5 months ago. So during Korea Blockchain Week, we came up with the idea because we realized, okay, lots of people are doing gossiping, and we actually wanted to build a prediction market for gossip. But then again, it's very hard to verify the veracity of gossip. And we also didn't want to be the target of assassination markets or build assassination markets, right? So but we still thought doubling down on subjective questions, normative questions is very interesting, and no one has really done it. And if you build, or if you invent a social mechanic as the first person, as a first mover, then you can create a very, very big moat.
So here's the thing, like people sometimes hide their thoughts. So like for me or for some others, I don't want to share my opinion on my politician or some thoughts on some opinion, right? How do you solve this? Or they will provide the opposite answer to show a good profile to others, or to show similar opinion to their friends, and which may lead the data come to a bias. How do you solve this?
Yeah, that's a very good question relating to, I think, privacy and anonymity. So we are looking into things like zero knowledge pools, and also the concept of dark pools is something that we are very interested in. So really hiding information that you give out as an individual on chain. So I think this is a technical solution that we can solve.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Shukran.
Thank you to all the teams for all your amazing pitch that you have prepared, and also a very big thank you to all our judges to have a very insightful feedback and having such good questions for the teams. Our judges will now take a moment to deliberate and make the final decisions on our top projects. While we finalize the results, feel free to network and discuss your thoughts on the pitches. We will announce the winners shortly. Please kindly come back to the hall in about 20 minutes. We will notify you outside, and we will continue the ceremony in 7:10, approximately 7:10. Thank you.